Hello everyone, welcome to another Middle of the Week. My name is Michael Halfhill, the lead pastor at the Piedmont Park, Seventh-day Adventist Church. How you doing? I hope you're having a great week this week. Here we are on September 11th. This is an important day, a day of remembrance for our country as we remember the attacks that took place years ago on 9/11. We remember those who were lost that day. This day is also a day of remembrance for me because this day happens to be my wife's birthday. And so it's not just a day of remembrance and sadness for us, it's also a day of joy. But as I was thinking about that horrible day that happened years ago when the planes hit the World Trade Center and the Pentagon and all that loss of life, I thought of another verse that is a verse that we struggle with. This is not an easy verse to read. This is one of those hard verses in the Bible, hard sayings of Jesus. So I thought I would share this with you. And let's just think about it on an important day like today. It comes from the Sermon on the Mount, where Jesus preached an amazing sermon, but it was probably hard to hear then and still sometimes hard to hear today. Matthew is where we find it, and I want to go to Matthew chapter 5, verse 43. Jesus says this, "You have heard it said that you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies." Whoa, that's tough, isn't it? I don't know if you have any enemies. I try not to have enemies in life. But if you do, it's hard to love them. On September 12, it was hard to love the men who perpetrated those violent acts of terrorism on our country. Jesus says, love your enemies. That is not easy to do. He goes on and says, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use and persecute you. Wow, that is not an easy thing to preach, not an easy thing to hear, an even harder thing to live. Now, when Jesus says, love your enemies, there are different words in the Greek for love. There's the love that's talking about emotional feelings and passion love. There's the love of companionship love, like for a brother or a friend. But there's this type of love too. It comes from the word agapao, or the love of choice. God's not saying, Jesus isn't saying to have intense, passionate, loving feelings for your enemy. He's saying love them through the love of choice. Choose what's good for them, even though they might not have chose what's good for you. And that's a tough thing. This is a hard saying from Jesus. And if you're at odds with someone, if you're in conflict with someone, it's hard to do. It's hard to bless someone who has cursed you. It's hard to pray for someone who is causing you problems. But Jesus says, love your enemies. Not an easy thing for this pastor, and I'm guessing probably not an easy thing for those of you who are listening. So what do we do with it? Well, we have to pray, don't we? We have to ask for help. We have to admit, God, this type of teaching doesn't come to us naturally. I love my neighbors. I love those who are good to me. And Jesus says, yeah, so what? So does everybody. He says, you, as a follower of mine, love your enemies too. Love those who are mean to you. Do good for them. Why? Because it will not only change you and your attitude, but it will change them. It could change them too. So friends, I know I'm praying about this. I'm going to ask God for help because this is a tough saying from Jesus, but it's in the Bible, and so I like it even though it is hard. What do you think? Is this a tough saying for you as well? Is this a tough verse from Jesus? Friends, I hope you have a great day today. I hope it's a day of remembrance, and we remember not only the tragedies that happened on 9/11 years ago, but I hope we remember the good that took place, the heroes that ran into the buildings, that went to help. Always look for the helpers when tragedy hits. And then let's ask God to help us to love not only our friends, not only our family and our neighbors, but even our enemies. Friends, God bless you. Have a great rest of your week. I hope you'll join us this coming week here at Piedmont Park, here for worship. That starts at 11. We'll be continuing our journey through Exodus, and we're going to be talking about a tragic story that happened in Exodus when the people decided that they would make their own version of God. So come and check that out with us at 11 o'clock this Saturday, and our Bible study time is at 9:30 for all ages. We'd love to have you join us either here online or in person. Take care and have a great day.